Gentlemen, let's proceed to our next keynote speech. The speaker is responsible for implementing Fortescue's sustainability strategy, including driving continuous improvement within the areas of climate change, biodiversity, and human rights. We're also responsible for annual sustainability-related disclosures. Please welcome the Group Manager Sustainability of Fortescue Metals Group and CFO Coalition participant, Ms. Cath Bozanich. Over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me. It's really a pleasure to be here. So far, we've had some great discussions. Now, I just have to warn you that I do like to talk about sustainability for a long time, so I will probably have to stop myself. I think I've got 15 minutes, but it'll probably go on for a little bit longer. So, got some slides here as well. Are they up? Yep, there we go. Fortescue Metals Group was established in 2003. I'm not sure if many people are familiar with Fortescue, but we're a proud West Australian company and we've been recognised for our culture and values innovation and industry-leading development of infrastructure and mining assets. We are one of the world's lowest cost iron ore producers, and we're now shipping at an annual rate of about 180 million tonnes per annum, and we've shipped more than 1.7 billion tonnes of iron ore to our customers since 2008. Sorry, do I change the slides or does someone do that for me? Yep, keep going. Yep. Okay, Fortescue's operating excellence continues to drive strong results for our company, and we have our key metrics of safety, production and cost. And as we transition to an integrated global green energy and resources company, this will be particularly important. You can see that our full year results there, and it included a net profit after tax of $6.2 billion US. So Fortescue operates 3 mining hubs in the Pilbara, which are connected to our 5 berths in Port Hedland where we ship our ore to customers. And that's all connected via 760 kilometres of the fastest heavy haul railway in the world. As we look to our green energy future, we are rapidly evolving into a resources and renewable energy company with Fortescue Futures Industries. And I'll speak about that a little bit later. This slide just shows the location of our 3 mining hubs and the location of our ever-expanding renewables network. Sustainability is important to our board, to our stakeholders, and our future as a business. And as other people have discussed already today, it is more and more important to our employees. Our approach to sustainability is aligned to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and we have prioritised 8 of the goals where we believe we can have the greatest impact. And this includes gender equality, sustainable cities and communities, climate action and industry innovation and infrastructure. From the outset, it was our vision to ensure that the communities in which we operate benefit from our growth and development. As we expand globally, we are working to provide these same opportunities and deliver positive social and economic benefits with a focus on training, employment and business opportunities. Fortescue really wants to be leaders in sustainability to drive our success and deliver strong returns to shareholders. And we're taking action because it's the right financial decision to do, it's right for our business, but it's also right for the planet and our communities. Shareholders and investors have a much greater interest and awareness of sustainability. And earlier this year, we completed a $1.5 billion offering of senior notes, which included Fortescue's inaugural green bond. This green bond is really significant for Fortescue because it starts the transition of our debt capital structure to align with our sustainability objectives and provides access to a growing pool of green and sustainable capital. Sustainability is embedded across the company and it's led from the top. We have an executive sustainability committee, and the management of sustainability matters is overseen by the board's Audit, Risk Management and Sustainability Committee. At the heart of our culture and values is our unwavering focus on safety and the well-being of our employees. During FY22, this focus has seen the achievement of our lowest total recordable injury frequency rate, or TRIFR, of 1.8. This compares to a WA mining industry average of 5.7. In FY22, our total global economic contribution was 27.6 billion Australian dollars. This included $9.6 billion in payments to shareholders and investors. As an industry, we faced some confronting truths during the year as we worked to better understand people's experiences of sexual harassment at mining operations in Western Australia. I'm not sure how much of this has really been shown to you in each of your countries. We have an ongoing workplace integrity review, and we've implemented a range of initiatives to further enhance safety and wellbeing within our operations. And we acknowledge that as an organisation contributing to the wider community, we can always do more. We are working to provide a workplace where everyone feels safe to be themselves and where they are acknowledged and celebrated for their strengths as individuals. As a business, we're committed to diversity and inclusion in all its forms and commit to a year-on-year increase across our key measures. Increasing our female employment rates remains a priority for us, and it is so for the rest of the mining industry. We employ over 2,650 women, and our female employment rate continued to increase this year, with females holding 23% of total positions, 24% of leadership positions, and 27% of senior leadership roles. If anyone saw our AGM yesterday, you also would have seen that our board now has a 60% representation of females. We have a number of inclusion and diversity initiatives to build talent pools and provide supportive workplace for female employees, including a range of professional and personal development opportunities. We are committed to positive social change and building vibrant and thriving communities by supporting local procurement, business development and capability building opportunities in the regions where we operate. 2022 marks the 11th year of our pioneering Indigenous procurement program, Billion Opportunities. Since its inception, we have awarded over 4 billion Australian dollars in contracts to over 140 Indigenous businesses and joint ventures, helping to build the sustainability of the Indigenous business sector in Western Australia and to build sustainable communities. The program is complemented by a range of practical initiatives that provide businesses with the tools to build value and sustainability, which in turn creates employment and development opportunities. This includes establishing joint ventures and providing opportunities for Aboriginal businesses to partner with established contractors and build their capabilities before securing their own contracts. Our Vocational Training and Employment Centre, or as we call it VTEC, began in 2006, and since then over 1,100 Indigenous people have successfully completed training and gone on to commence full-time employment with Fortescue. This program has been modelled by the Australian Federal Government because of its success. Voluntary social investment programs form a critical part of our commitment to build vibrant and thriving communities. In FY22, we contributed over $77.4 million in social investment. The Royal Flying Doctor Service provides emergency healthcare services to our regionally based families and remote operations. And the RFDS has taken care of our employees in evacuations from site for medical reasons, and we've worked alongside them to assist them in the community when they might need urgent medical help. So in FY22, we launched this new partnership to provide the first aeromedical helicopter service in WA. Our 5-year partnership adds 2 helicopters and is an $8 million commitment from the company. We take a precautionary approach to environmental management and implement the mitigation hierarchy to avoid, minimise, rehabilitate and offset impacts across our activities. We implement a conservation significant fauna management plan to identify potential impacts to conservation significant fauna and to ensure effective management and monitoring measures are in place. We continue to contribute to research and conservation initiatives to improve the collective body of environmental knowledge in the areas where we operate. And in FY22, our contribution to research and conservation totaled $3.7 million. Water is a critical resource and its effective management is fundamental to the sustainability of our operations and the ecosystems and the communities in which we operate. And as the impacts of climate change become more prevalent, improving water efficiency at our sites will become even more critical. Tailings management. Our iron ore processing facilities generate a fine-grained byproduct referred to as tailings. Tailings are pumped as a slurry via pipelines to specifically designed tailings storage facilities at our sites. The tailings produced during the production of our iron ore are geochemically benign and pose a negligible environmental or health contamination risk. The management of our storage facilities includes rigorous design practices, comprehensive monitoring and management, and independent auditing and a strict corporate governance regime. During the TSF's design phase, a number of aspects are considered, including the location of mining infrastructure, employees and communities, areas of environmental significance, topography, geology and climatic conditions. We do not employ the upstream raised TSF design or construction method, and all of our TSFs are located in remote areas and there are no communities situated near these facilities. As we look to the future, we know that collaboration will be key to saving our planet from the continuing global warming trajectory. We know it's heavy emitters like us that take action that makes the biggest difference. In September this year, Fortescue became the first major heavy industry company to have a fully funded plan to step beyond fossil fuels and achieve real zero by 2030. This means our operations will be running on green energy within the next 8 years. To achieve this, we are investing $6.2 billion US and in the process, saving $3 billion before 2030. We recently announced our decarbonisation strategy to eliminate fossil fuel use and achieve real zero emissions in Scope 1 and 2 across our iron ore operations by 2030 and net zero for Scope 3 emissions by 2040. A key enabler of this will be Fortescue Future Industries, a wholly owned subsidiary of Fortescue, which is taking a global leadership position in green energy and green technology. There's no doubt these are ambitious targets, so why are we doing it? Well, we're doing it because it mitigates the financial, commercial, environmental and social risks that we see. We believe it will future-proof our business. It will lead to lower operating costs, and it provides the opportunity for us to supply carbon-free products and create new revenue streams for the company. So Fortescue as a business at the moment emits 2.2 million tonnes of carbon dioxide every year. Here is a graphic of our gross emissions profile, and it actually shows an increase as we bring the full operation of our Iron Bridge mine on board. The technologies and the costs of renewables is well understood, and this is where we've started. But our biggest challenge is addressing the emissions from our stationary and mobile fleet, which includes our haul trucks and our trains. And this is driving innovation. Partnerships will be key. Through the deployment of green energy, our green fleet and our investment in demand management, our emissions will decline sharply over the second half of the decade. And importantly, the cost savings will start to accrue through the transition period, further enhancing the return metrics. So around 70% of these emissions are generated from our haul trucks and other heavy mobile equipment and the rail operations, as I said, while 25% comes from stationary power used to run our sites in the remote Pilbara region of Western Australia. So as I mentioned, we believe we will save about $3 billion US by 2030 as a result of these actions, rising to annual savings of approximately $818 million US per year once fully implemented. This investment in renewable energy and decarbonisation will generate attractive economic returns for our shareholders through savings in fossil fuel costs, a reduction in carbon offset purchases, and the creation of new revenue streams. We are absolutely committed to delivering value for our shareholders, and we know that decarbonising our business is not just the right thing to do for our planet, but it makes long-term business sense. Our investment includes the installation of 2 to 3 gigawatts of renewable energy and battery storage, site infrastructure, including charging stations and power reticulation, and investment in incremental processing capacity and fleet to optimise activity. We are taking swift action to decarbonise. We are doing this through a research and development facility in Western Australia, where our green team are putting in place the building blocks to turn Fortescue green, and through partnerships with major technology businesses globally. In June, we entered into a partnership with Liebherr Zero Emissions Power Systems Technologies. Being developed by FFI and Williams Advanced Engineering. This also accelerates the opportunity to commercialise zero emissions power systems. Under this agreement with Liebherr, we will receive 120 haul trucks. These trucks account for 26% of our emissions. We are also evaluating the production of green iron and the reduction of emissions from steel manufacturing. Business as usual is over. The risk posed by volatile and upward trending fuel and carbon credit costs, carbon pricing, fragile supply chains and geopolitical tensions are enormous. Our goal is to make zero emissions energy available at a global scale. We are already seeing significant global demand for green hydrogen and green energy. It's no longer acceptable for heavy industry to say that it can't go green. Join us in the race to real zero.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. A round of applause for Ms. Cath Bozanich. Thank you for the sharing. Right, ladies and gentlemen, it's about 20 minutes before 4. We still have one more panel session that's coming up a little bit later, but let's go for a coffee break.